Hey, it's Jana, here with your weekly episode of Dashboard by Monolith. Just last week, I told you all about new space collaborations, product leaks, and some potential mergers and acquisitions. There's some follow-up to some of those topics, so take roughly 5 minutes and 36 seconds to get yourself caught up here. This week, I'm talking VR rumors that are now facts, production shortages, CEO restructuring, and, well, politics. Grab a seat and some popcorn because there's a lot to cover. So, let's fire up the dashboard. With all the drops lately for processors, chips, etc., it's inevitable there would be a corporate ball drop too. The partnership between Intel and manufacturer TSMC has changed its status from in a relationship to it's complicated. TSMC doesn't consider Intel a long-term client, and moving forward, there's doubt that TSMC will meet Intel's long-term goals. Normally, Intel manufactures its own silicon required for their CPUs, but when they came up short, TSMC came to the rescue, apparently only to fill Intel's gap in stock. A global leader in microchip fab technology, TSMC also supplies AMD, Nvidia, and Apple, so they're already pretty booked to say the least. So far, TSMC has made no promises to adjust their production capacity, which means Intel product shortages may continue to 2023. Speaking of relationship status changes, Intel is undergoing a massive restructuring, including the dismissal of chief engineering officers. Their colossal TSCG department, or Technology, Systems Architecture, and Client Group, is being broken up into many smaller divisions, all of which report directly to CEO Bob Swan. They are Tech Development, Manufacturing and Operations, Design Engineering, Architecture, Software and Graphics, and Supply Chain. Supposedly, these departments won't change the company's day-to-day operations, and this will help them source manufacturing partners elsewhere, as is becoming more and more necessary moving into this new product era. Kinda sounds like an open relationship to me. Thanks in part to Intel's production complications, AMD stock has skyrocketed, and their Q2 report is not a cent short of record-breaking. This quarter, AMD made $1.94 billion with increased sales of notebook, EPYC, and consumer CPUs. They even beat their projected growth of 32% from last year's earnings. It's pretty impressive. AMD predicts that the desktop PC and notebook markets will continue to grow, and they're expecting roughly $2.55 billion in their Q3, which is a casual 42% increase from the previous year. Guess lunch is on them. Last week, I shared some creative guesses on the new Oculus Quest headset. And guess what? I was right. It's been dubbed Quest 2, though no official name has been given, and it's already in production. Sources have so far confirmed that this version still has 4 cameras, although 2 are positioned to allow for wider fields of view, and an apparent improvement on the touch controllers. The lenses now have 3 adjustable settings, and we're hoping that a higher resolution will come part and parcel. Though that would require a newer processor, potentially in the Snapdragon 8 series, 845 and above. Zuckerberg announced its forward compatibility, and it's meant for future devices and is a refinement, not a replacement for the older versions. And of course, when are we gonna get it? So far, some heavy hints have been made suggesting September 15th of this year. But of course, we'll find out and I'll keep you informed. What games are you most looking forward to testing? Let me know in the comments below. Guess what's also on its way?
Ice cream.
No, but worth a shot. According to Facebook Reality Labs, Varifocal Optics are almost ready for prime time. The R&D department has been producing a series of prototypes with the moniker Half Dome. What in the world are Varifocal Optics? Glad you asked. These lenses use liquid crystals to allow the headset optics to regulate between 64 discrete focal planes. This supports vergence and user accommodation unlike any other on the market. With the use of folded optics now being experimented with in the Half Dome 3, headsets and displays can be way smaller without compromising quality. And no, it's not ice cream.
Liquid crystal sounds like ice cream.
Could be. I think that's a new company we can do. The C-suite executives of technology giants Amazon, Google, Apple, and Facebook are being asked to speak up and defend their business practices. Their products accumulate inconceivably large amounts of data, and what they do with it is hitting an ethical roadblock. In the Antitrust Commercial and Administrative Subcommittee last week, Jeff Bezos could not clearly deny that Amazon had used competitor or seller data in order to regulate product production and prices. Political bias and their role in China was also touched on briefly, but for hours. Essentially, lawmakers are trying to see if century-old antitrust laws are relevant for the innovative companies that exist today. Most likely not. Notably, Elon was not present as he was probably dealing with the Amazon space news. Oh, you didn't hear? The Federal Communications Commission, or FCC, approved Amazon's plans to launch 3,236 low Earth orbit satellites to provide broadband internet in its new Project Kuiper. Time for a new kind of space race, folks. Elon always has his mind a few steps ahead and is creating the new SpaceX Kids. Who knows, maybe to help train the next generation of astronauts. What I want to know is what's the cutoff for kids, because personally I think this is pretty neat. But actually, I'd like to join. Can we expense it? Talk after?
We can talk after.
Okay, great. It's good to know. This week, we'll reveal the winner for the Intel 10th Gen Core i5 processor. So keep your eyes out for the reveal. If you don't want to miss your chance to win awesome items like these, then subscribe to our channel and like our videos. I'll leave it at that for this week, but I'll be back with another for you next week. Check us out on social media, as well as our website, monolithgroup.ca. I'm Jana, this is Dashboard, and I'll see you next week.